Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the Hot Stocks Outlook for May 18th. 2018. Hope you're all having an excellent week in the financial markets. Going to be looking at a lot of markets today. We got Genworth, so in the financial space, Opko Health, Armour, Brookfield Infrastructure, and then I pulled up a couple of more energy companies, which over the past several weeks really gone through a couple more energy companies every week as that sector doing extremely well and opening up a lot of trading opportunities over the past few weeks. Here in Genworth, though, we'll go ahead and start out here in what we have are daily bars and candles representing our price data. So this being all end-of-day data, these candlesticks representing end-of-day data. And against those price data bars, you see we have a few indicators. Now, right up against the price data, you'll notice that there is a black line there and also a blue line. Now, the black line is a regular simple moving average, or what we call the actual moving average. And what it does is it's a really good barometer of where prices have been in the past. So it really lets us know, okay, where have prices been? What are the average prices over a given period of time? But what we're able to compare that value to is this blue line. And this blue value, for it to be generated, it's utilizing the artificial intelligence found within the VantagePoint software and creating a predicted moving average. So actually using predictive prices to create a forward-looking indicator. So as long as that blue line or that predicted moving average, in this case, moves above the actual moving average, the trend is up. It's forecasting predicted prices to be greater than the actual prices currently. So what we're looking for, these crossovers between these values, signify a trend change in the market. Now, in addition to that predicted moving average, we also have this highly accurate 48-hour indicator. And you see it goes from a green down to a red. And this is a very short-term 48-hour indicator. So it's only looking at two candlesticks at a time, and it's going to change. It's going to move from green to red over time. But again, it's always looking out just 48 hours ahead. So very short-term strength or weakness in the market. And to really round out the forecast, you're also even given a predicted range for every trading day before it occurs. So you have trend direction, short-term strength or weakness, but also a predicted range. So you know, where should I be looking to accept prices? Where should I be taking some profit? And you've really got an entirety of the forecast with those indicators. So again, going back to this point here where we say, okay, you'd want to go ahead and look to start getting long Genworth. Well, we of course want to come in and use those other tools, and we can actually see the accuracy of these predictions against the actual trading day. So if you see, I bring up these red and black lines here being the actual prediction before that trading day occurs. And you see what happens here. If you're coming in and know you want to be a buyer in line with the trend, you want to be buying at these predicted low levels that you see throughout the chart. And you see what happens is over the course of that trend, you're getting in at very strategic levels. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 entries here over the course of about 20 trading days or so. And you see that blue line, that predicted moving average, still well above the actual moving average. And you see about 5 entries in a market that just in 16 trading days has moved up over 19% to the upside. So just a huge move. You see a pretty cheaply priced stock here, but you know, even just 1,000 shares of a stock this cheap, you've already made over $500 just in the past 16 trading days. Here we have Opko Health. So somewhat of a different situation, but you got to understand when you want to stick with your trade, when the trend is still up and you want to stick with your original trade idea. You see our predicted moving average crossing above the actual moving average, but you notice that you don't get a lot of separation between those two values. You really run sideways for a long period of time, and that makes sense that predicted moving average would be very close to the actual moving average, but you see it still hanging above and saying, look, the trend direction is up. Use your tools to go ahead and take long positions. So, you know, your neural index may go down to a 0. You get some short-term weakness. But again, you want to use every piece of your toolkit here to understand, okay, well, you want to be long. The prediction, a blue line is still above the black line. Your neural index is going to forecast that volatility and short-term strength or weakness, but use your predicted ranges. Of course, your predicted high and low ranges to know where you want to go ahead and look to be a buyer in a given market. So again, you see as this market goes sideways, about 4 or 5 entries at the very bottom portion of that range. So you can minimize your risk and exposure you're taking to the market, but still open yourself up to make a lot of money should markets break out and continue that desired trend direction. This market, though, up over 60%, $1.85 per share, just in the past 21 trading days. So again, 1,000 shares, you made $1,800 on a very, very small position on, again, having the tools to know when to stick with that trade. You see the separation between those predictions start to get a little bit more pronounced here. Then you see that big explosion in the price action. Moving on to Under Armour. So same concept, same approach of use your tools to identify the trend direction, but then you have these really great tools, these predicted high and low neural index, to help guide you moving forward as you need to manage that trading opportunity. So again, we can bring up those levels and you see what occurs here. We get one first day here where we dip a little bit lower, but look how good the software is at adapting as that volatility starts to change. So another great entry here, great entry here, great entry here, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 really great entries in a market that remains in an uptrend. You see very clearly here the trend is still up, and Under Armour shares moving much higher, over 23.85%. Just in the past 16 trading days here, so a very short period of time, just an explosion in the share price there. Brookfield Infrastructure. So, if you want to look for short positions to not only be, getting long a lot of these markets that are doing well, but look for an area to go ahead and hedge that portfolio and actually take a short. Here we see Brookfield Infrastructure very clearly cross over to the downside, neural index at a downside. We get a couple little bumps as far as the price action. You see the neural index gets bullish and we get a little bit of an up day over the next 48-hour period. But very clearly, the market's still in a downtrend. So you, of course, want to come in with your predicted high and low ranges and understand, okay, well, if I want to look to get short this market, where do I want to be taking those positions? And you see, again, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 entries into this market as it's moved lower over the course of, what's about 20 trading days or so here. But again, just understand, okay, well, where do you want to be getting long? Where do you want to possibly be getting short? And then using those predicted levels to adapt and adjust that position over time. See this market about 24 trading days off about 7.5%, but you see still very much in a downtrend. So if you're shorting this market up at $41 per share, can easily lock in those stops, trail them down with the market, and should things go lower, you ride that trend lower with the overall market. Lastly, here we have Chevron and Valero. So these are going to be very, very similar, but again, just want to cover what we've seen across the energy space is a lot of strength here. Here in Chevron, all the way at the beginning of April here, so going over a month and a half of time here, but very clearly, you want to be holding long those shares of Chevron. We can bring up, of course, our predicted high and low ranges, get an idea of, okay, where would you be a buyer here? But plenty of opportunities here to go ahead and look to scoop up shares of Chevron. So when you get these, consolidations in the market, you're only looking to buy at really the bottom portion of these ranges and get really great, shorter term, just try to trade the range. You can buy at these predicted lows, target the predicted high, or just use these as additional entries in what's been a longer term uptrend. So we see Chevron and really almost anywhere in the energy space, you've seen this strength just coming through across the broader markets, but 12, almost 13% move in the past 30 trading days. Here in Valero, almost the exact same thing, right? So what you get with the software is there's actually a scanning feature here where we get all of these scans come through on the day of, and you'll see things like the entire energy sector with fresh crosses to the upside. And you understand, okay, this is an area where I can look to trade, but of course I want to be, strategic with this. I want to go ahead and adjust my position over time, be buying at really strategic levels where you're not just jumping in at whatever the market price is, but you're setting limit orders and getting really great entries and fills over the course of a longer term move. So you get another example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 entries to the upside there. And as a shorter term trader, or a trader who's, taking some short term profits along the way, that's 10 or 11 successful trades over the course of the last month here. So again, just really great opportunities all throughout the energy space. You see over a 20% move just in the past 30 trading days. But of course, you want to look at financials, pharmaceuticals. You've got retail here, and even look for places to short where that weakness is in the market. So as always, guys, thank you all for watching. Leave any questions or comments that you have below. Always appreciate the back and forth. But everyone, have a great rest of the trading week. Once again, this has been our Hot Stocks Outlook for May 18th, 2018. Best of luck. Thanks again, and bye for now.